Welcome. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. Tonight we're going to be covering a little bit of 223 and Remington and 5.56 NATO and talking about its use in bolt guns and gas guns and pressure levels. So, other than that, AR.
Hey, thanks for having me on. Of course, you usually do. So thanks, man. Appreciate
No problem.
It's always a pleasure being here with you, though. You know that. So good to have Bending on here, ballistics. Looks like we got Mac out there.
I'll be in just a second. I'm here. I'm listening.
We got it. Good to see you all on the side chat. Andy's with us. Echo here in the box. Bending down here. Mac Man, 67 Rebel, PNW Woods, and Andy again. So take it away. I'm here to have a good time.
Yeah. Tonight we're going to be talking a little bit about pressure levels in NATO cartridges. Excuse me. I got something in my throat. Between NATO cartridges and 223 Remington, what the basic differences are. When you're looking at a 223 Remington and you're looking at its actual design and its bullet weight, it's a little bit to quite different than a 5.56 NATO cartridge. If you look at them from just a buyer's standpoint, for me, when you're looking on the shelf, you'll see stuff like this. You'll see 55 grain. And let me, AR, will you blow it up?
Yeah, hang on. I'm digging out of the cabinet.
Yeah, you'll see here 55 grain, this is M193, which is a 55 grain boat tail full metal jacket. And these things are scooting when they're coming out of a 20-inch barrel. These are pressured at around 62,000 PSI. And basically, the pressure levels that you're dealing with the 5.56 are a lot higher than what you're dealing with 223 Remington. This right here is some steel cased, but this you'll notice is M855. And that is what the military's using now. It's a 62 grain 22 caliber bullet that is got a steel penetrator in the tip of it, and it's for piercing light armor, and it's also to give the bullet a little bit more weight to it so that they're able to fight some of the shortcomings from the 14.5-inch barrel that they're using right now in the military. But you notice both of those cartridges were at 55 grain and at 62 grain. When you start looking at your off-the-shelf Remington 223, you'll see a lot of stuff in 50 grain and less. I've shot stuff in 223 that's been 38 to 40 grain to 45 grain. And you're talking about a difference in rifling as well. The rifling in a 223 is usually 1 in 12, 1 in 14, where your rifling in your 5.56 rifles now are 1 in 7 in a 14-inch barrel, 14.5. And basically, that's just from a buyer's point. When you're looking at it, will the 223 function in a 5.56? Yes, it will, and it will operate the gas system. You will not get the best accuracy out of a barrel chambered for 5.56 with a 223 Remington cartridge. The basic bottom line there is the 5.56 has a slightly longer throat in it versus the 223 Remington, which has usually a shorter throat, less jump in the bullet to the lands and grooves. But AR, you got any to add in on that?
Yeah, I actually got a box here, guys. I bought one in the Obama years of Hornady makes it. Back then it was 50 rounds for $39.99.
Wow.
It is, I'll tell you the number and I'll show you the box. It's not NATO. It's soft point like I'm loading now. Of course, you could load it if you reload it, you could load it to NATO pressures. Number 80255, 223 Remington, 55 grain SP. It's a box I bought years ago.
Oh, look at that.
Mm-hmm. And they're identical really to what I'm reloading from Mid-South, the bullets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't tell no difference in the profile or anything. I think they're identical. And I'll have to drag the book out to give you the number on what I'm loading. It's now I can load mine, the ones I've been reloading, guys, that you've heard me speak of. SP Spear Point, Soft Point, 55 grain. I can load them at NATO pressures and once fired, Lake City, who knows, Federal Brass, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm loading them near NATO pressures now. Not quite, but good enough. I'll tell you the bullets a little later when we get to talking if you want to know the bullet number. And that's the Hornady bullet number. You can also get these through Mid-South. They're called Varmint Nightmare. You'll see them in 2,000 box. They got them right now, $170. Oh, no, $199 for this SP soft point. Excuse me, I'm wrong on that. The full metal jacket's $170 for 2,000 rounds right now. So good to see you guys in the side chat. Let me take a minute, if you don't mind, Echo. Let me run these guys down a second here.
Oh yeah, go right ahead, AR. Take care of the business.
Got Michael Dunn with us. Good to see you, Michael. Tactical Fud, Michael Hurtnick with us. Good to see you, Michael. We'll make this quick. Just to kind of acknowledge you here. Daniel God is my judge. 67 Rebel joined us. PNW Woods. And appreciate you guys coming in tonight.
Okay, sorry I'm late.
I am aware, Andy, we're overlapping some people streaming. What can we say? I'll let Echo address it.
Saturday is a nightmare.
It's my fault. We'll blame it on me. Blame it on the new guy.
Yeah, you're the one that wanted to stream. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Benny's fault.
So the only thing that I need to correct out of everything that we were just discussing a second ago, Echo, is military is using a 77 grain projectile now. They're no longer using the 62s. That's the only thing I need to.
Let's try. Hey, can you hear me? Let's try not to show how old I am in this chat. Okay. Yeah, I'm a little bit behind the times, fellas. I'll be honest with you. I remember when Winchester had the contract for the military.
I think Winchester still has the contract. However, they're no longer using a 62 grain. They're using a 77 grain now. They just changed earlier this year.
Oh, okay.
That's better too.
Okay, and what twist rate and barrel are they keeping? The 1 and 7?
They're running a 1 and 10 now.
Jeez!
Wow!
So they've slowed it down. And to answer Michael Dunn's question, you can run 223 and 5.56 in a 5.56 barrel or a 223 wild barrel.
Yep.
The difference is the width of your case, generally speaking. We're just speaking a general formality right here but we'll get off into the rabbit hole of it here in a minute. But 223 is perfectly fine shooting in a 5.56 barrel, especially if it's a gas rifle. Where you're going to see a big difference is going to be in your bolt action rifles. So it's not less accurate or worse on your barrel or anything like that. Like you can go back and forth on a 223 wild barrel or a 5.56 barrel. It's not going to hurt anything. So To answer your question, no, it's perfectly fine running 223 and a 5.56 barrel, Michael. It's not any worse, not any better in the fallacies of speaking of a gas rifle.
You'll have a little more throat space.
Yeah.
In the NATO barrel.
Which can add to a little bit of inaccuracy compared to the 5.56. But but what you're dealing with is when you're talking throat, is the fact that the 5.56 is such at a max pressure that they give you a little bit of safety in the actual throat, so they make it a little bit longer jump. But other than that, you get a slight change in impact, point of impact shift. I've seen it magnified with suppressor use, but basically you'll get a one impact with 223, and then you'll put a 5.56 in there of the same. Let's say you're using 223 55 grain Federal, and then you throw in a 5.56 55 grain M193. You're going to get a little bit of an impact change of where the bullet hits the target. Now, do you call that inaccuracy? Well, if you shoot groups at distance, it can give you a little bit wider opening of the group. But as far as hurting the rifle, no, it's not going to hurt the rifle whatsoever. In fact, I've shot tens of thousands of rounds of 223 and 223 loaded pressure with once or twice fired 5.56 cases with no problems whatsoever.
That's a thing that comes from the old days, back years ago when you had the barrels that was just 223 only. You don't put NATO rounds in a 223 barrel only. And that's caused confusion for years and years and years. I still get that question. Even in gun stores, sometimes some guy will ask me that. And I'll go, no, AR is fine. Go ahead and just put anything you want in it.
Well, and a lot of the, I guess, confusion really comes from like the 223 Wild barrel. Because a lot of people associate the 223 Wild barrel as its own individual cartridge, when 223 Wild is just cut at, the chamber is cut at a deeper, it's cut deeper than just general 223. Mm-hmm. So it causes a lot of confusion for people. And it did mean for a long time when I first got into shooting 3-gun and stuff, because you talk to people and you're like, what kind of barrel are you running? They're like, oh, 223 Wild, 223 Wild. And I'm like, that's not the correct cartridge for this type of competition. And then as I got more into the knowledge of firearms, like this was even before I was ever gunsmithing or anything. So like, I just didn't really know the difference. And it's kind of one of those things, like, we create our own confusion in this industry, and sometimes it's not for the better. And it's just little things that they change throughout the industry that nobody really acknowledges. Like, we can use for an example the 300 Whisper versus 300 Blackout. They're the exact same cartridge. The only difference is 300 Blackout runs suppressed or runs supersonic and subsonic, whereas a 300 Whisper was only a subsonic round.
I want to answer this. When you're reloading 223 brass, you don't really think no different outside of pressures. Don't load it hot as crap. 223 brass, you just reload. And reloaders, we just reload brass. We don't care if it's a NATO round, Lake City. We don't care if it's a commercial brass, as long as the pressures are right, and we don't load it hot. So it doesn't really matter. We're not loading it for the barrel per se. We just reload it, and you can mix it. You can mix it too. So.
Well, the other thing that you have to throw in there is if it's like Lake City military brass or something like that, the primer is crimped in it. So you've got to swage your primer pockets and uniform your primer pockets. And that causes its own confusion in itself, because M855 from Winchester, the one that's got the green Winchester writing on it. They don't swage the primer pockets, but the M195, they do swage the primer pockets on. And then you have Frontier ammunition. They don't swage any of their 5.56 at all, and they have 3 different ones.
All these have been swaged, reamed out with a drill.
Yep.
And checked to make sure. But we'll help you. Who's Michael Dunn? Echo builds them, and I can build them. So if you need any help, just ask us. Echo's got every tool you can think of, too. I'm sure Bending probably got, he's got the Real Avid, he told me here the other day.
Yeah, I use the Real Avid tools. I've built hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of firearms for the shop with my Real Avid tools, and I speak very highly of them for a quote-unquote budget-style tool. Mm-hmm. I have definitely got my money's worth out of those tools and still continue to just use them and abuse them and run them.
Me and Echo, we're going to go for the go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. If you got more to say. Okay, he's vaping. Me and Echo, we're going to get the Midwest Industries reaction bar. Once we get that, we're covered on every upper receiver there is in the AR platform.
Yeah.
That's it. Everything.
Yeah. I used to work for an SOT and I was part owner, and I used to build guns for a living. That's what I did. I build AR-15s and LR-308s and AR-10s. And
matter of fact, let me go look for that part for you guys. Go ahead, Echo.
Oh yes, sir. AR was talking about earlier a soft point 55 grain. He was going to give you a part number, and I have it right here. Just trying to find the right one. Here it is right here. I think this is I think the one he's shooting is a 55 grain SP, and it's a boat tail.
Yeah, it's the one. Remember, it's the one that you got the update correction. My book, the 10th, 9th, all the others, they made Hornady made a mistake in the book, guys. I discovered it here a few months ago in a live stream. I can explain it if you guys want to hold on. I'll tell you what mistake they made. Hold on.
Yeah, I think he's. Hey, are you shooting the 2265 AR? The part number, item number.
Hey, so I want to answer this question that popped up in the chat from Timothy Burkett real quick.
Hang on. Let's see.
Timothy's question is, can you remount a 223 barrel to a 224 Valkyrie? The answer to that is yes. However, I wouldn't recommend it personally. Little knowledge here, Timothy. I know I haven't really seen you in the chats here, and so I'll just spill the beans a little bit. I am a master armor, so I'm speaking this in formalities of things that I would personally not do, because the money that you're going to spend on the labor versus the money that you'll spend just buying another barrel and bulk carrier group, it's not worth it, in my opinion. Buy the barrel and the bulk carrier group and run it. And I own a Valkyrie, and I love the Valkyrie. However, you can ream a 223 barrel to a 224 Valkyrie. It's the exact same size projectile, so on and so forth. But the issue that you're going to have with doing that is, one, a lot of these companies that make 223 barrel, generally the throat and the chamber is chrome line. So let's say you're buying an Anderson or a Palmetto State Armory or Bear Creek Arsenal or somebody like that. We're just going to use those as examples. 9 times out of 10, their chambers are chrome line. So you're going to destroy the chrome lining when you try to ream the throat from a 223 case up to a 6.8 SPC case, you're going to be better off just buying a 224 Valkyrie barrel and a bolt carrier group, because the bolt carrier group is different on 223 versus 224 Valkyrie, and the case is a completely different case, even though they shoot the same size projectile.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got to worry. Anytime you worry about industrial chrome lining, that isn't your normal chrome. This is industrial chrome, and it will eat up bits. It is much more cost effective for you to go out and buy a 224 Valkyrie barrel than to actually have one taken apart and drilled and reamed for a 224 Valkyrie. And plus, no, don't even think about that. I was thinking something else, but the bottom line is it's usually a lot cheaper and a lot less time consuming. You're going to pay us a gunsmith and a machinist $100 an hour, and that's like 3 hours worth of work when you can just buy a barrel for a couple $100.
Let's get back to the bullet next.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, on the 10th,
your bullet.
Echo's got an updated book, 11th edition. It's corrected it, but in the 10th, 9th, and who knows the other one, but I know in the 10th and 9th book, you look on page, at least in the 10th, on 166, you will see a bullet. It'll say 55 grain SP with cantilever. It'll say item number 2266, correct overall length 2.200. But the problem with that is that's not the right bullet. They show the wrong bullet. They're not describing the right bullet. That bullet really actually is a boat tail hollow point. They made a mistake in the 10th edition and the 9th edition. And how do I know? I just know. The bullets I got's boat tail hollow point. And they corrected it, right, Echo, in your book last time we talked?
Yeah, I'm trying to. You got a boat tail hollow point?
Yeah, it should be a 55 grain. It should be 2266. You verified that a while back for me. Yeah.
2266 with cantilever boat tail. It's saying it's a boat tail soft point.
Yes, they corrected it in your edition. But in my edition, it was not corrected. So it would throw a new reloader off if you all get this book. So keep that in mind. That bullet really is not what you're looking at. It's actually a boat tail hollow point, even though they say it's just a standard non-boat tail.
And always a little bit of knowledge for you guys that might be getting into it for the first time, and even some of you old timers. Always check your data in multiple sources. You know what I'm saying? Don't just use one book. Look at the same charge in 2 or 3 books and make sure everything is kind of making sense to you. If not, stop and call one of the manufacturers of the books. Hornady, RCBS, whoever you have, Lyman, and ask them to speak to someone in the reloading department and figure out what's going on.
This is something I just discovered. What was it, 6 months ago, Echo?
Yes.
In a live stream? Yeah. I noticed the book was wrong. So.
Yeah, and also to hit back on that loading, why people sometimes will say, don't shoot 223 in a 5.56 chamber, or don't shoot 5.56 in a 223 chamber. The reason being is there used to be a safety rule that was made up a long time ago that you always shot what the barrel was labeled as, that you did not shoot any other ammunition. And this was kind of around the 1970s. I was taught this around the 70s myself. My grandfather said, hey, if it says 30-30 Winchester on it, you use 30-30 Winchester. You don't ever try to put a cartridge that, even though it may fit in the chamber, into the weapon. And that's where a lot of that has confused people, is a lot of old timers are telling the younger kids their safety rules without realizing there has been some, just like he was telling me, just like Bending was telling me. He's like, he goes, Dave, the military's using 77 grain now. I didn't know that. So, I thought they were still using the M855. When I was growing up, they were using the M193, which is the 55 grain full metal jacket, which I've got right here. M1 or right here. That's M855. This is M193.
And
yeah.
Michael, on your build, you got to have that lower that'll work with 9mm. So you need another lower.
So they make an adapter that'll actually go in an AR-15 lower for the 9mm.
They do.
And where you can feed it Glock mags. However, that piece to do that, I want to say it's around $200. At least that's what it is in our shop, is around $200. You're going to be better off buying just a 9mm lower from Arrow or Palmetto or Noveski or Spikes or somebody like that already makes one. Because you're talking, you can get a 100% AR9 lower from some of these manufacturers for just as much as what you're going to spend on just that adapter. I mean, if I was going to do it, I would have both, because 2 is better than 1 in my opinion. Just personal opinion there. But I want to get back to Timothy real quick. So Timothy, Burkett, your rifle being a single shot, I mean, you're, in essence, if you change out the bolt carrier, so on and so forth, and everything like that, you could make a 224 out of that rifle. But let's say it's a bolt action. There's only a couple manufacturers that make a 6.8 bolt action bolt for the 224 Valkyrie or the 6.8. And so those manufacturers are generally not cross compatible with anybody else. So if I was going to do it, I would order a action and build a completely separate rifle if I wanted a 224 Valkyrie. Like I said, I have experience with the Valkyrie. I love my Valkyrie. However, so that works.
Yeah, the Valkyrie has definitely got some inherent difficulties with its primer pockets, but there is ways to work around it. There is some I'm trying to remember, it's something Hagar brass that you can actually resize into the 224 and use it, and it's supposed to keep the primer pockets tight and up to 6 or 7 reloads. So that is a way that you can work around it. And for that, check Johnny's reloading bench. He did a whole thing on the 224, and he goes into detail on it, and he really covers it very well. And I'm just parroting information that I watched on his show. So just go ahead and tune into him on that particular aspect if you want to know more about it. He kind of digs into it.
Echo, look at your private pet message I just sent you. I'm going to send you another one.
If I can figure out how to do it, brother.
Just click on the thing private on the right and it'll show up.
So
left click on where it says private chat, and it'll open up a new window.
You know I'm blind as a bat, brother. All I'm seeing is our chat going on.
Okay. Well, see where it says comments?
Yeah.
See where it says banners?
Yeah.
See where it says brand?
Yeah.
See where it says private chat?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Left click on it.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
You'll see the message. Read it. Several of them.
So Skeet was talking about wanting to wanting to put a 5.56 in a CZ action or a 5.56 in his CZ action earlier. CZ has some very tight tolerances. I probably would not do that personally. Yes, Michael Dunn, I am talking about the Stern Defense magazine and bolt conversion. They're pretty expensive, personally. So, but it'll be all right. I think you'll enjoy an AR9. I've got an AR9 that I absolutely love shooting, despite the prices of 9mm being pedonculous right now. I do love shooting 9mm still. I own multiple 9mm, so.
I may have to get out of here and go get my dog. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. That's where they're at.
Yeah, you guys, I think everybody's going to be over at Uncle Jim's right now and watching him. So we're not really pulling anybody, and I don't want to overlap him. I thought he was starting 9 o'clock our time, and we were going to swing in for a quick chat. And I tried to contact him, so I didn't know. And I think we just probably should just shut down because we're pulling 3 or 4 people right now. We don't want to be pulling away from his chat. I thought he was starting at 9 for some reason. I'm kind of stupid sometimes. So, AR, you want to take us out?
Yeah. Go ahead, Bending. Let you do some sign off too. See what you're gonna be up to lately.
Going. Just working on my vault. I got to put in my floor today. I've actually got it all in the bed of my truck right now. So as soon as we get off here, I'm going to install 121 square feet of floor. Oh, so that's what I got going on. But other than that, that's about it.
I got to install a floor in here in my reloading room. Hey guys, we appreciate you turning out. We got some overlap on some shows, and it's just 2 people on right now. So we appreciate the questions. We hope we helped you some, and you guys have a good evening. And hopefully we might put one up later tonight. Just hang with us. We'll check back with us.
Yeah, if you guys want to go back on later on tonight, just shoot me a call or send me a text, whatever.
Okay.
Might be easier to call because I might be elbows deep doing this. So it may be easier to call. But Michael, also, let me tell Michael something real quick before we go. Michael, if you've got any questions and you're on Instagram, you're more than welcome to send me questions over. I will answer any question you have about doing either an AR9 or a 5.56 or both. So if you have any questions with any of that stuff,
yeah, email me at argun1776 @gmail. I'll forward it to Echo. He can help you.
Yeah,
we all can. So
yeah.
Anyway, guys, we appreciate your coming in and checking us out. You all have a great weekend.
Take care. Well, we may see you later on. It depends on what's going on in the stratosphere.
Yeah, weekend kind of gets crowded sometimes. So have a good one, guys.
See ya.